Alright, so 2024, ladies and gentlemen. I only played 4 games this year because I had a boxing fight, and that training camp was the hardest thing I've done in my bloody life. 8 weeks, you can't cut corners in boxing. You have to give it absolutely everything you got. So footy took a back seat for the start of the year, and I only managed to get out 4 games. I travelled all around Australia, went to country SA, I went to Melbourne to play, went to Albury, Wondonga, and obviously Tasmania to play. Now, why didn't I play more games, you reckon? Because I've lost a lot of love for it. But in saying that, I had a lot of family stuff going on this year, so I couldn't get away every weekend like I anticipated. But I'm going to take you through a little recap of those 4 games. So hopefully you enjoy a little bit of commentary around my 4 games for 2024. And that's it. Let's go. Alright, so Lauderdale, first game of the year. One of the best moments of my football career. It was the most wholesome, heartwarming shit getting back down to where it all started. It was so good getting down, seeing all the old faces that are still around the club. They're thriving down there. They've played a lot of finals footy, and it was just an amazing feeling to be able to get back home and play in front of my family, my friends, and in front of the club that gave me so much and gave me the opportunity to play AFL football. And we're playing against Kingston, who were the premiers from the year before. They won the grand final, so it was going to be a tough game, but it was at the tip at our home ground, and we had supporters coming left, right and centre through the gates to get around our boys. So I was playing with a few ex-AFL players in Josh McGuinness, Sam Siggins, Andrew Phillips, Alan Christensen, and it was just so good to get the win for the boys in front of our home crowd with my family and friends there watching as well. But that game was one of the highlights of my career, just the whole feeling around it, getting back down, pulling on the jumper, running out in front of the Lauderdale supporters again and getting a win against Kingston was something that I'll always remember. Finished with the game with about 21 disposals, 5 tackles, 6 clearances, so it was an alright day. Didn't do anything special, but I think just being there and getting around everyone was a win-win in itself. So. Ooh, for the next game, my good mate Cam Elliston, my ex-teammate from the Brisbane Lions, was in my ear for a couple of years now to come down and play for Wondonga Raiders. And I was like, you know what? Show me the money, I'm down there. And they delivered. Now, this was my first time pretty much fly out for a football game, local footy. And it was amazing. I went down on the Friday, did a clinic with the juniors, and they showed out. They had so much fun that me and Cam were running the session. And there's some bloody good juniors down there, I'm not going to lie. So watch out for some of those kids coming through the system. I didn't realise they only had 1 win for the year, and they were struggling a little bit, and they were playing against their rivals, so it was actually kind of an important game. But I was that excited to get stuck into it. I was humming around the first 10 minutes. I think I was probably the best 10 minutes I've ever played. Just gliding across the ground pretty much, and I was excited. And then somehow did the splits and did my hammy within the first 10 minutes. And then I was like, fuck, they're paying me all this money and I've got to perform. And then I've done my hammy. But I strapped the hammy, had some endone. Shout out to one of the supporters who had some endone and got me through the game. That was actually really, really funny. Strapped the hammy up and I played just in the goal square pretty much. In the last quarter, I had no pain awareness, and I was able to get on my bike and start running around and help us win the game. But I will say the Wondonga Raiders are a bunch of great blokes. The club's really, really good. Got a good community there, and it was so much fun playing with Cam and a few of the other boys that I got to hang out with after the game. Finished with like 15 touches and a few tackles and shit, but I got through the game somehow. My ego took a bit of a kick to the nuts, but I got through the game, which is really cool. That was my first time at Wondonga, and it was a beautiful town, and I'll be back for sure playing for them next year. And after the Elliston game, I got hit up by chicken Ricky Nixon himself. He said, mate, do you want to come to Elliston and play a game of footy for X amount of cash in a paper bag? And of course I went, well, fucking obviously, what's the go? And I bet you're thinking exactly like I was thinking. Where the hell is Elliston and how do I get there? Well, I did no research at all before I said yes, and it ended up being, so I said, yeah mate, let's do it. That sounds really nice. He said, mate, guess what? Stevie Milne's playing too and doing Sportsman's Night. I said, fucking, that sounds like fun within itself. The biggest interstate trip I've ever done in my life. Packed the bags, 2.5 hour flight to Adelaide, waited there for 3 hours, and then got a little charter jet. It took an hour to get to Port Lincoln, and I was thinking, country SA, this is fucking taking its time. Little did I know, 170-kilometre drive from Port Lincoln Airport all the way to Elliston. But this place was beautiful, untouched scenery. Did not expect this. Fishing area. The community was so nice. Elliston pretty much rolled out the red carpet for me and Stevie Milne. It was so much fun. Community came out to the game, didn't know what to expect. Don't know what division it was. Ended up having like 40 to 50 touches, setting up a lot of goals. My partner in crime, Stevie Milne, had about 1 goal. 1 goal, 6. I think he forgot. Hello! I think he forgot his limitations with his old age, but definitely be back playing for Elliston Roosters. That club was elite, and that was probably one of the highlights of the year, to be honest. Getting to a place I never knew existed and balling out for him. So we are at Morningside Panthers, and it only makes sense to talk about the Eltham Panthers' last game of the season. It was the final game before you had to choose a team to play for the second half of the year, and it was probably my best game I've played in a long time. I put it out to the Instagram community and I said, hey, I'm in Melbourne this weekend, who can I play for that needs a hand and I can possibly deliver a 35-year-old washed up ex-AFL player's body and try and get him to win. My good mate Tim Bond Jetty slid in my DMs. He goes, hey, we need you this weekend. It's a big game. I didn't understand the severity of this game until I got there and they did the pre-game speeches, and they were staring relegation down the barrel because they won the grand final last year and they went up a division and they're sitting second last, and we're playing against the team who's last on the ladder. So if you finish last, you're fucking out of here. Absolutely love this club, Eltham Panthers. They rolled out the red carpet for myself, my partner and her family, and I felt that love as soon as I got there. Ended up having one of the best games I've played in a while. 33 touches, 20 contested, 10 clearances, shitload tackles, and a couple snags. And a big fuck you to the opposition supporters who thoroughly deserved it, because they were the worst I've ever seen in my life. They were absolutely scumbags. And your boy Rob Dog will be definitely back down there next year, because the teammates, they were so nice looking after me, trying to block and bash up the taggers that I had during the game. Eltham Panthers, that game was elite. Got the win against their rival team. Hopefully they're not getting relegated, but that was a very, very fun game to play. So hopefully you enjoyed a trip down memory lane for 2024. I might be going to Darwin to play some footy if anyone has some money up there. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I need to go fishing at some stage and to get up there and go back to my happy place. But next year, me and Matho are going to be doing similar to what I did. We're going to, first half of the year, we're going to be playing for random teams who ever need our assistance in helping them win games. Second half of the year, not playing. Might sign up local footy. I don't know. I don't really give a shit about football anymore. But to be honest, I'm the happiest I've ever been. The body feels absolutely amazing. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the content this year. I want to defer from just football content. I want to get into more content creation with other influencers, other content creators, and just start the podcast back up too, which is absolutely flying off its titties right now, and I'm thoroughly enjoying that with my boy Beast Mode. So big shout out to Joe Fortune, who flew me across the country all year doing all this content. Couldn't do it without him, so big thanks to you guys. Thoroughly appreciate it. Lots more content coming up. We got Brownlow stuff, we got grand final, we got the finals, we have the Mitch Robinson Cup coming up next week. Brisbane Lions, Carlton Footy Club. I'm going to be at that, getting bland and vlogging it. So like and subscribe. Hopefully you enjoy this recap of 2024. Sorry it wasn't more footy content, but I don't give a shit. Peace.